When we think of agriculture, we usually think about today's new modern technology. The world's most profitable countries and leaders in agriculture have some of the best technology at their disposal, yet there are some at the top that are not as advanced as we think. The Philippine people are a very hard-working civilization, yet to use very self-doing technology for their work. While researching this fascinating culture, I discovered how close its agricultural economy is to the rest of the world, along with its surrounding neighbors. I'm going to give you some insight on the history of this agriculture from the early 1900s to early 2000s. The sectors of the Philippine culture and gender roles. Now I'll start off with this culture's history so you know where they have progressed. According to nationsencyclopedia.com, in the 1990s through 2000, the Philippines was primarily an egg country, planned to convert to industrial, but failed. In 1998, weather decreased production in that year by 8.3%. It increased the next year, with hog farming and commercial fishing declining in revenue. One of the major leaders in fishing industry in 1995, it was the fourth in seaweed production and ninth in aqua products. This history is pretty fascinating, but the expansion of this country's agriculture is pretty big and split into 4 different sectors. The first sector is farming. Primary crops are rice, corn, coconut, sugarcane, bananas, pineapple, coffee, mangoes, tobacco, and abaca, a banana-like plant. Secondary crops are peanut, cassava, camote, a type of root crop, garlic, onion, cabbage, eggplant, calamansi, a variety of lemon, rubber, and cotton. The second sector is fisheries. It involves commercial fishing, which is large waters. In 1995, the Philippines produced 2.2 million, which is 2% of the world's catch, and is 12th of 80 fish countries. The municipal fishing, which involves small waters with usually no boats, otherwise no more than 3 tons. There's aquaculture, which produces food fish, sport fish, bait fish, ornamental fish, crustaceans, mollusks, algae, sea vegetables, and fish eggs. The third sector is livestock. Production is very important and rapidly expanding. There is poultry farming, which is the main source, and then pigs, cattle, caribou, and goat. Poultry is more than half the total inventory of birds. The fourth sector is forestry. According to tagalong.com, it is less than 1% of the total labor force, 45% of all land, 25% of national land. The Philippines was the leader in exchange and exporting in the 60s, and is now a net importer since 1990. With the sections covered, I will describe the surprising similarities in gender roles. According to FOA.org, men and women are typically the same. Men usually do more than women in terms of how hard the preparation is. Women feel they need to increase their contribution through research and nursery. They don't do any machine work, but they do milk a lot. The U.S. is very similar in how the gender roles are with the Philippines, because men still have harder jobs to control. I have told you the most important information of this country's agriculture. I'll end with this. Now that I've explained the history, sectors, and gender roles, you now know that it doesn't take self-producing machines to be at the top of production. In the future, I hope people that are unaware of this kind of productivity take great interest in knowing how these countries succeed in this field as well as they do. And I hope the next time you use your own self-doing device, you think how much more efficient it is to do it with your hands.